I'm taking pictures.
Lovely.
You know, you do that 6 days a week, right? My day off would be going to the gym, having a sauna and have a jacuzzi, you know what I mean, having a bit of a massage. That was my day, but it was 6 days a week solid like that. Then 2 hours training in the gym, and then on a Sunday, that would be probably the toughest day in the pro boxing world, because I'd be working the doors till 4 in the morning, getting back to Row for 5, half 5, and then I had to get to Delamere Forest for half 10 in the morning, so I'd have 2 or 3 hours sleep. Then we do a 2-hour run there with a boxing session, and then repeat it every weekend.
Okay. How important was mental preparation? Yeah, compared to physical preparation.
It's all part of it, you know. So a lot of fighters will relate to this, because your mind will play tricks on you, but that's part of the game. You know, I get that nervous before a fight. 2 or 3 days, I'd go to myself in my mind and go, if I see a red card now, it isn't going to get knocked out. And then all of a sudden 10 red cards would go past. So you'd have a lot of mental pressure that way, but that's part of the parcel. If you haven't got there, it's like, in a way, I'm a bit spiritual. It's like their gods playing your gods, you know? It's that fighter getting into your head, you're going to get into his head.
Yeah. Did you have any unique training methods or routines?
Yeah, sometimes I'd go out on myself and I'd just do some stuff that I just listen to my own thoughts. I call them the fight gods. I'd be running in cold seas. If I see a bit of ice in the cold weather, I'd start training on the ice, you know, in my bare feet, you know what I mean? It's just like, or stand on a fence doing the Karate Kid stuff. All stuff like that, and some of my fighters would take them through that as well. I had 100% pass rate with my fighters, and I had a champion as well, Jordan Roberts.
Yeah. How did you stay motivated through the setbacks and the injuries?
So injuries would be, every fight I'd break something. I had 19 fights. I'd break a foot, I'd break a rib, I might fracture my skull, I might have a swollen liver, a broken leg, ankles, whatever. That's part of the parcel. Within 2 weeks I was kicking again on a broken foot, because your body would be that fit, you'd heal quicker, you know? Yeah. So that's part of the parcel. I'd limp around for a bit, and the missus and the kids will tell you what I did. And so I did walk around the house limping for a bit, and then we'd just get back into there.
Who was the toughest opponent you ever faced?
Myself, definitely. You know, on the other side, you know, every one of them was tough. You know, they were tough boys. And I was a cruiserweight, but halfway into my career, I got like Tyson feel. Nobody wanted to fight me at my own weight. Tried to fight super heavyweights. I was below 14 stone, but I was fighting 17, 18 stone guys. I still knock them out though.
Was it a fight that changed your career?
The first one. The very first one changed my life for the good, you know. Anybody out there, especially some tough nuts out there, and you think you're all this, go into a boxing gym or kickboxing gym or whatever you want to do. If you think you're tough, get in there and learn how to do it properly, right? And then you won't be, it'll change your life for the good, and if you climb for the ropes, then it will really change your life, trust me.
What was your proudest achievement in kickboxing?
It's my titles really, doing my mum proud and my family proud. That's what I was about, and you know, and I did it for the people, believe it or not. I wanted to put smiles on people's face and give them great memories, and you know, the rest that comes with it was a reward towards myself, do you know what I mean? So it's a tap on the back. You just put the work in, and that's it.
Yeah. Did you ever consider retiring early than you did?
No, I still haven't. I've closed the gate, but I still haven't locked it. You know, I'm still thinking about fighting now. You know, there might be an opportunity towards the end of the year, or maybe next year, I might climb back in there. I know he'll be a young puppy, but he'll put me on my toes and make me train properly and get me focused back in the game.
What do you think was your greatest strength as a fighter?
My will, you know, and my focus, and my fight gods, my demons did all help me out on that day. And I'm 6'8", but I was super fast, you know, super fast, and I've got the strength of a heavyweight. So now it'd be interesting getting into a fight now, being my weight, because I'm a full-blown heavyweight naturally. You know, I used to fight the heavyweights when I was 14, below 14 stones, and now I know I take the heads right off.
Your life beyond the ring, how did kickboxing shape your character and outlook on your life?
You know, you learn, any martial arts or boxing shows you respect, you know. It makes you be, I was always respectful. I'd always help the little old lady across the street, and my kids are the same, you know. But it makes you focus and makes you it makes you stay on a good path. You know what I mean? So it wasn't being a divvy fighting on the streets, being stupid. It just made me focus, you know. So and it helped me get to my dreams, becoming a movie star.
Yep.
There's fighters that climb to the ropes and don't get a pack out of it. Do you know what I mean? It is a dangerous sport, but it is a sport at the end of the day. I did put a lot of pressure on it. I lost a lot of family time because I was always training. But that's part of the parcel. It is part of the parcel, but everybody has their own dream, they should go for it, you know? And your family there, just keep them well, keep supported yourself.
Yep. What keeps you driven today?
I'm always looking forward, keep focused, and there's always something out there for you. So just keep on going, looking forward, don't look back. Looking back is a waste of time. Go forward, keep on going forward.
When people look back on your life and career, what do you hope they remember most?
The good times, yeah? Because there's the whole of the thousands and thousands of people used to come and support me, you know what I mean? And it's funny because every time I'd fight, the whole town would have a sore throat the next day. We've been to see Spence fight, you know what I mean? So I only ever lost once in my career. So I always put up a good fight, and any fighter that gets in the ropes, these people are paying good money to come and see you fight. Right, so don't be a baby, don't cry and spit on the floor and spit your dummy out if it goes wrong. Just get up there and just fight your life out, yeah? It's a gladiator's ring, so just be a gladiator.
Yep. Growing up in Vril, what was it like growing up in Vril?
You know, there's big changes, you know, there's huge changes. When I was a kid, we didn't realise, and every 54-year-old will tell you this, we didn't realise how good we had it back then. You know, we didn't have telephones, we had a CB or whatever, but we had the great times, we had the freedom, you know. It was just completely different times. But the thing is, there's things on the internet, if you go on the internet, YouTube, just go in there and put in 1980s, 1990s, and it'll show the good times we had, you know what I mean? We had the real playgrounds, you know. We didn't have all this health and safety stuff. You know, you go on the witch's hat, if you come off that, it was a good buzz. If you come off it now, it's a claim. You know, it's just different. It's different times, man.
Yeah. Did you ever imagine as a kid that you end up working in Hollywood?
I had a feeling, yeah. I always had a feeling, and I always wanted to chase that dream. And I just knew the only way to do it was going into the kickboxing ring, the boxing ring, and it made it happen for me. You know what I mean? So I had a dream, a vision, go for it.
Yep. What advice would you give to young people from Vril who have big dreams?
Well, this isn't just to the kids in Vril, this is to every kid on the planet, because this radio station gets listened to everybody all over the world. So if you've got a dream and it's a good one, just never give up. And if an adult tells you, oh no, you can't do that, you know what I mean? If it's a good dream, then just, yeah, all right, but you must listen to your adults, but some of them may give you a bit of negativity and saying you can't do that, you must be a plumber, you must be this, you must be that. There's nothing wrong with them jobs, but if you want to be a spaceman, if you want to be an actor, if you want to be a top pro boxer, why can't you be? I can do it, so why can't you do it? So go for it.
Yep. To acting, what age did you turn your talent from kickboxing and boxing to acting?
Well, I was 32, 33, and I landed the first role in Harry Potter playing a werewolf. So that all took place within a few months, and I was still fighting through half my career. So for the next 7 or 8 years, I was still fighting.
Yeah. What inspired you to make that career change?
My dreams, man. So that's what it just. I've chased 2 dreams in this life, and I've caught 2 dreams. I'm living proof that it's possible. You don't have to come from these acting colleges and this, that, and the other. You don't have to come from a rich background. You don't have this. You don't have that. You just put the work in. Early bird and all that catches the worm. Get up in the morning, go for a run if you're a boxer, or get up in the morning if you want to be a top reader, read some more books. If you're going to be a top plumber, get your more pipes out and fix them earlier than everybody else. Just put the work in, and it does reward at the end.
Yeah. Was it a moment where you realised acting could become a career?
Well, I always knew it was my path. I didn't see it as a job, it was my passion, it was my dream. So, you know, it's always been my career. I've been in it now for 25 years, done over 50 shows. And I've played some really cool characters, but it's like my home, you know. I've got 2 homes going on, so I don't see it as a job. You know what I mean?
Did you have any like formal acting training?
I'm severely dyslexic, so at the age of 32, 33, I couldn't read or write. I used to read a Thomas and Sankinson book like a 5-year-old, badly. You know, it is what it is, it's my disability. And then I found out I could read properly and I wasn't thick when I learned about dyslexia. Me and my mum's got dyslexia as well. Me and my mum went and did a little course and they showed me some tricks, how to put the dialogue in. And then I found more ways to do this later down the line. And then I went, oh my God, I can remember stuff. I want to go back to school and do it all again. That's never going to happen. But it is what it is, and any dyslexic kid out there is listening. Dyslexia isn't a hindrance. It's a superpower. You just got to find out what superpower you have.
Yeah. What was your very first like acting role?
My very first acting role, believe it or not, was on stage in the Almeida in Islington when I was a young lad. It was like 5 to 10 years after that I went into the film industry. For Lady Alice Douglas, Earl of Queensberry's granddaughter. She was married to a friend of mine, and back in the day, well, it was my best friend at the time's big brother, you know, Simon, and she knew I wanted to get into films and give me a little opportunity there, but it was very, very hard, like putting dialogue in my head back then, even if it was just 3 words, it was like, it made me shake. I'd go into the bank and I'd shake trying to fill my name in, because it was real scary stuff, you know. For me, a pen in the hand, it was just like, oh no, you know, I'd rather fight 10 Tysons. There is kids out there that relate to me as well. But you find a way of overcoming that, and then it becomes, give me that pen here, you know what I mean? Give me them dialogue, give me this, give me that, I'll do it, smash it, no problem.
What were like the biggest challenges you faced when starting out as an actor?
It was the dialogue, you know. It was literally the dialogue. The movements I had down, I was the man. You know what I mean? When it come down to jumping around and throw some shapes. You know what I mean? I could do stuff that the stunt world hadn't seen before, and the acting world hadn't seen before with such a big guy. How I was doing it. It's just I had the gift, and that's the way it was. You know, you couldn't learn what I learned. You're born with it, I think, and you just make it better.
Yep. Did anyone tell you that becoming an actor would be possible?
I had people in my family said it wasn't going to happen. They'll get a real job, and they know who they are. But they 20 years later, they're asking for autographs off me. You know what I mean? I had my beliefs, and I didn't let anybody squish them. You know, they tried many places. They tried, but I didn't let them, and I fought my way through that.
Yeah. Looking ahead, what like projects are you currently working on?
I'm working on several films at the moment, but we just can't discuss them because there's a thing called NDA and we're signed. And if you want to work again, you've got to stick to that's what it says on the signed paper. We just can't talk about what we're talking about until the grown-ups do. When I say the grown-ups, I mean the productions release it.
Yeah. Is there a dream role you would still love to play?
There's a few out there. I'd love to play Dracula. I'd love to play the Hulk. I'd love to play Swamp Thing. I love playing with monsters, I really do. But there's all these new characters that are coming out as well, in the DC worlds, in the Marvel worlds, and you know, the Hammer worlds. I just, whatever comes my way is on my path, it's wrote down, you know, it's my job. But good luck to anybody that gets that job, and just smash it.
Yeah. What goals do you still have for your acting career?
Just keep on moving forward. You know what, I'm not a sore loser as well, because when I say a sore loser, I mean, if the ride stops tomorrow, I'm grateful. You know, I've done a lot of stuff. I've been really honoured to be working with great actors and having these opportunities to still work the film industry. And you know, and I'm 54, but I'm nearly 54, but I still move like a 21-year-old. You know, I can still bring the magic. You know what I mean, with a lot of knowledge and wisdom.
Yep. Quick fire round. Favourite film?
So many to choose from. Wizard of Oz.
Alright, next. Favourite actor?
Robert De Niro.
Favourite sports team?
Favourite sports team? I don't really follow football, right? But if I had to, my great granddad played for England. He signed for England a couple of times. He played for Leeds. Josh Hollings. My cousin, he was a top footballer. Jason Fisk, top footballer. Danny Coyne is the godfather of both my kids. Danny Coyne was a Wales goalkeeper for over 10 years. Do you know what I mean? So that's my sports. If I had to do that, yeah.
Tea or coffee?
It depends on what time of day. I love me cup of tea, milky strong, give it a good squeeze, 1 sugar, stir it 3 times to the left, 1 to the right, and a biscuit to dip in there. Coffee, ooh, I like a milky coffee, you know what I mean? And I'm a sucker for drinking coffee at night, too late that I can't sleep all night, but it is what it is.
Yep. Early bird or night owl?
Early birds, I'm a night owl as well, so carry 2 souls.
Alright. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
It was off the big man upstairs, and you know, I don't go to church every day, but I am a believer, and he allowed me and give me, things have happened to me that should have happened to me, doors shouldn't have opened to me, but they did, so I know he's got my back, and any advice I've got, just follow your dreams, man, and just, you know, whatever you believe and go 100%.
Yep. One word that describes your journey from real to Hollywood?
Wow, never been asked that question before, well done. I need to bring one out. Magical.
Yep. Nice. Closing question. After everything you achieved in sport and acting, what are you most proud of?
What am I most proud of? Just you know, just being myself, keeping it real. You know what I mean? People say, oh, these films you don't know what I thought you know. I said, no, I'm always grounded. I'm Big Spen, I'll always be big Spen. I've seen a lot of people change around me being a movie star, but that's their problem. But yeah, no, just keep focused, keep going forward, and just keep your feet on the ground if you have the opportunities to do what I've got and had and doing. You know what I mean? Just keep it real. And all I can say, if you're in a room, in a movie studio, whatever, and you hear a bit of negativity, just move out of that room. You don't have to be in it. Go to the next one.
Yep. Spent